Hi, and welcome to Retirement with Jim. So today, as retirees, when you're asked, what do you struggle with that answer? Okay, before we get started, if you like my content, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel grow. So, surprisingly, a number of people really struggle with how to answer that question. Now, for me, my wife, um, the answer is simple. We are retired. I am retired. Um, and for me, it means everything is on my schedule, my terms. I have fully embraced doing only what makes me happy. For a lot of people, they struggle because they have made their work their identity, who they are. And so for some people, they're lost. You know, they really don't know exactly, what to say and what to do when it comes to that question. So many people have, since they have tied their identity, 14% have struggled with depression. And that's really a surprisingly high number. And it's because they have not really maybe taken the time to plan, to think about what they want to do with their time. For many people, they're lost and they have no meaning for them when because they don't have any work. Um, Now, some people return to part-time work because they need the money, they need the income. Nothing wrong with that. You know, Others return because they've got to be engaged in doing something and feeling useful for themselves and feeling wanted and needed. And so for them, and they're the group that higher group that's suffers from the depression, because they just can't fulfill their day. Um, you gotta go out and be willing to, stay active. For instance, here I am out on the edge of the golf course. And I'm just enjoying, the being outdoors. I love being outdoors. My wife and I walked 3.5 miles before I came and did the video. And you know what? It's nice just to be out in nature. I kind of hate the overcast days. I love it when it's sunny and nice out and we can walk. And, for me, ideally, I love 80 degrees. It's like the perfect temperature. It's not hot, it's not cold, and you're comfortable with everything. And we find different places to go walk. We walk around our community, but we also have a number of parks nearby that have some small little lakes and ponds people fish at. So there's a lot of different places where we go to enjoy being out in Mother Nature. And quite honestly, it's kind of nice. It's peaceful, very serene, and it's a nice feeling just to be out there and enjoy being outdoors. For me, I embrace that since I'm retired, that I no longer have to do any of the I have to do things. I love the fact that everything's on my terms, my schedule, what I want. And if I just don't like it, I just don't do it. So it's really nice because let's face it, when you're working, you had to do all kinds of things that were required for work. Work tied a lot of us, to our identity. It was my identity for almost 48 years, you know. And so now that that's gone, I've gone on to finding other things to do. Like I do these videos. I love doing them. And, I like doing the channel. I like having an audience that I talk to out there. But I just enjoy in general being able to do this. Kind of turned out to be a fun hobby that brings a lot of joy to me. So you got to say to yourself, if you have to work part-time, because you need the income, there's nothing wrong with that. But then try to find something you love and flexible enough to fit in your own schedule, your own lifestyle. It's a great way to stay active. It's a great way, you know, to stay busy. If you have to earn some income, there you go. You've got a way to make some money but make it be something that you enjoy doing. Now, if you liked your job and you retired, but, maybe you can have the opportunity to consult or do some work, for them on a part-time basis, that's not a bad choice. If you're been doing it a long time, it's kind of, you're the expert in that field. And it's nice to pass on, that knowledge and that help. Um, I probably I worked another whole year just to train a couple of people, that they wanted me to train. And it was a lot of fun to pass on the knowledge. Honestly, did I work much during that last year? No, not at all. Probably the biggest thing of what I did was really just the training and helping them learn, you know, and when you're teaching people, especially in a leadership role, it's about how you treat people and the skills you have. And not everybody has those skills. Now you can learn them, but some things, from perspective of how you deal with people, you got to have a certain amount of patience and understanding to make that successful. Um, so if you plan to retire soon, um, you got to factor in what you're going to do with your time. Yeah, so you are better off if you have a plan and you have something you want to do, because it's going to make that transition into retirement so much smoother, so much easier, if you have some thoughts about what you want to do. So whether it's something work related, and I still consider, if you're doing part-time work, that you're not working, you're retired, because you're doing it on your terms. But if you are, from a hobby standpoint, things that you want to do, that will make that part of your retirement journey so much more enjoyable. So, be prepared to change directions, at any time. Be flexible. Be creative in the work that you do. So you can find a lot of different things to do that you'd be surprised, that keeps you out in nature, keeps you active and involved in what's going on. You can find the beauty, the quiet time that's out there. And if you think you want to travel, but maybe you realize that, from a money standpoint, it's a lot more expensive than you may have thought, you can travel locally. So you can still do it and get out. There are many things that you can do that won't cost you a lot of money. So you can always find ways to make things happen. But when it comes down to, and back to that original question, what do you do? To me, it's simple to say I'm retired and I enjoy it. And if you have to hesitate, well, then give yourself something to think about what you want to do and what you need to do. So let me know in the comments below, if you like that, if you struggle with, what to do with answering that question, or if it's just a simple, I'm retired and I love it. So I tell you, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.